I want to talk to you today about the greatest battle you will ever fight, the battle in your mind. You see, life isn't just about what happens around you, it's about what happens inside of you. The way you think determines the way you live. We all have thoughts that try to pull us down, thoughts of fear, insecurity, and self-doubt. You're not good enough. You'll never overcome this. You always fail. Sounds familiar? These thoughts don't just pop up randomly. They are weapons in the battle for your mind. And if you don't take control, they will control you. But here's the good news. You don't have to let those thoughts win. You have the power to choose what stays in your mind and what gets thrown out. Think about it this way. If someone came to your house and dumped a truckload of garbage in your living room, would you just leave it there? No. You'd clean it up immediately. So why do we let toxic thoughts pile up in our minds? The truth is, you cannot have a positive, successful, joy-filled life if your mind is full of negativity, fear, and doubt. Your mind is the steering wheel of your life. Where you allow it to go, your life will follow. That's why it's so important to renew your mind daily. Every single day, you have to make a choice. Will you focus on the lies that tear you down, or will you focus on truth that lifts you up? When worry comes knocking, replace it with peace. When fear tries to take over, fight back with faith. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself of every victory you've already won. Winning the battle in your mind isn't a one-time event. It's a daily decision. It's choosing to reject negative, self-defeating thoughts and replacing them with words of strength, hope, and power. You are stronger than you think. You are capable of more than you believe. And no matter what battles you face, you can overcome them, starting in your mind. So today, I challenge you. Guard your thoughts, fight for your peace, and take back control of the battle in your mind. Thank you. Your mind is a battlefield. This is a truth that every person must come to realize at some point in their life. Every single day you are faced with a constant stream of thoughts. Some are empowering, lifting you toward your highest potential, while others are destructive, dragging you into feelings of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. The battle within your mind doesn't always come with loud bangs or obvious signs of war. It often begins quietly in the form of a small thought, an idea that seems insignificant at first, but if left unchecked can grow and take control. The truth is, our minds are where everything begins. Everything that happens in our lives, every victory, every defeat, starts with a thought. We don't always realize it, but our thoughts shape the course of our actions. When we entertain thoughts of self-doubt or fear, it affects how we show up in the world. When we let negative thinking take root, we begin to see life through a lens of pessimism and despair, unable to break free from the grip of worry. On the other hand, when we focus on positive, life-giving thoughts, our actions align with purpose, peace, and joy. This battle for your mind is real. And it's something you can't afford to ignore. If you let your mind wander without any control, it will often lead you down paths of frustration, anxiety, and even depression. A lot of people live with negative thoughts that they don't even recognize as harmful. We think we're just being realistic, but in truth, we're unknowingly fueling the very thoughts that hold us back from experiencing peace, success, and fulfillment. The problem with negative thinking is that it doesn't just stay in the mind. It starts to seep into every area of your life. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or I'm not worthy of happiness may seem like isolated moments of weakness. But over time, these thoughts become beliefs that guide your actions. They influence the decisions you make, the relationships you form, and the goals you pursue. If you are constantly thinking that you'll never be good enough, that thought will eventually control the way you carry yourself, the way you communicate, and the opportunities you allow yourself to take. But the opposite is also true. If you fill your mind with thoughts of possibility, gratitude, and self-worth, your actions will follow suit. This doesn't mean you'll never face obstacles or moments of doubt, but it does mean that you'll approach those challenges with a mindset of determination rather than defeat. It means that when life gets hard, you'll remember that your worth isn't determined by your circumstances, and your potential isn't defined by your failures. You are capable, strong, and full of promise, and your thoughts should reflect that truth. The battle for your mind is not something that can be won passively. You must actively choose to fight against negative thinking patterns and replace them with healthier, more productive thoughts. This requires intention, it requires awareness. So often we go through life on autopilot, reacting to our circumstances without truly considering the thoughts driving our reactions. But when you make a conscious decision to pay attention to your inner dialogue, you start to notice the patterns that need to change. Think of your mind like a garden. If you don't tend to it, weeds will grow. Negative thoughts are like those weeds. They start small, but if you don't address them, they will spread and take over, choking out the good seeds of positive thinking and hope. The good news is, just as you can pull out weeds from a garden, you can pull out negative thoughts from your mind. It takes effort, persistence, and patience, but it's possible. One of the most powerful tools in this battle is the ability to redirect your thinking. When a negative thought arises, don't simply entertain it, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Does this thought reflect the best version of myself? If the answer is no, let it go. Replace it with a thought that aligns with truth and positivity. For example, if the thought is, I'll never be successful, replace it with, I have the ability to succeed, and I'm taking steps toward my goals every day. It may feel awkward at first, but over time it will become easier, and eventually it will become your default way of thinking. Another critical aspect of winning the battle for your mind is understanding the power of perspective. Life is full of ups and downs, and challenges are inevitable. But how you view those challenges will determine how they affect you. If you view every setback as a failure, it will be hard to keep moving forward. But if you choose to see obstacles as opportunities for growth, you will find strength in adversity. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this experience? Your mind is the battlefield, and the thoughts you allow to take root will determine your future. You have the power to take control of your thoughts, to fight the negative, and to build a life filled with positivity, hope, and victory. But it all starts with one decision: the decision to be aware of what's going on in your mind and to guard it with intention. So remember, the next time you feel overwhelmed by negative thoughts, you're not alone. Everyone has this battle, but you are fully equipped to win it. Keep fighting. Keep shifting your focus, and keep guarding your mind. The victory is already yours. You cannot have a positive life with a negative mind. This truth is one that many people overlook, but it is at the core of why so many struggle to find peace and fulfillment. Your thoughts are not just passing moments in your head. They are the foundation upon which your life is built. What you think about, dwell on, and focus your attention on will eventually manifest in your words, actions, and ultimately your reality. If your mind is constantly filled with worry, fear, and self-doubt, it will be impossible to walk in confidence, joy, and success. You may desire a better life, you may want peace, strong relationships, and success in your endeavors, but if your thoughts are working against you, your actions will follow suit. Negative thinking is like a dark cloud that blocks the sunshine. It blinds you from seeing the good in life. It distorts your perception of yourself and others, and it keeps you trapped in a cycle of frustration and defeat. The way you think shapes the way you live. If you constantly tell yourself that nothing ever works out for you, then even when opportunities come, you will hesitate to embrace them. If you believe that people always let you down, you will begin to see every interaction through the lens of distrust and skepticism, pushing others away without even realizing it. If you dwell on the idea that you are not good enough, you will carry yourself in a way that reinforces that belief, never stepping fully into your potential. Negativity doesn't just affect your emotions, it affects your decisions, your relationships, your health, and your future. When your mind is full of negativity, you begin to expect failure, so you don't try. You assume people won't support you, so you isolate yourself. You dwell on what's wrong in your life instead of recognizing all the good that is still present. But here's the good news. Just as negative thoughts can shape your reality, positive thoughts can do the same. You have the power to shift your focus and train your mind to align with a perspective that leads to peace, confidence, and success. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending life is perfect. It means choosing to approach challenges with the belief that you can overcome them instead of assuming they will defeat you. One of the most dangerous things about negative thinking is that it often feels normal. Many people have lived with a negative mindset for so long that they don't even realize they have one. They think they are just being realistic, but in reality, they are choosing to keep them stuck because it's more disappointment instead of expecting good things, and without realizing it, they are building a life that reflects their negative expectations. The truth is, negativity is a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that dominate your mind. Are they thoughts of hope, gratitude, and possibility, or are they thoughts of fear, anger, and discouragement? Once you become aware of your thought patterns, you can begin to change them. Every time you catch yourself thinking something negative, stop and ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? If it's not helping you, replace it with a thought that does. For example, instead of thinking, I'll never get through this, tell yourself, I have overcome challenges before, and I will get through this one too. Instead of thinking, no one cares about me, remind yourself of the people who have shown kindness and love toward you, even in small ways. The words you speak to yourself matter. You would never plant weeds in a garden and expect beautiful flowers to grow. In the same way, you cannot plant thoughts of defeat and expect to live in victory. What you feed your mind is what will grow in your life. If you constantly think about problems, you will feel overwhelmed. If you constantly dwell on past mistakes, you will feel stuck. But if you focus on solutions, on progress, and on the potential for things to improve, you will begin to see change. This doesn't mean you won't face difficulties. Everyone does. But how you think about those difficulties determines whether they crush you or whether they make you stronger. Some people go through hardships and come out bitter, while others go through the same hardships and come out wiser. The difference is mindset. Choosing a positive mind doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing to see beyond the immediate struggle and believing that something good can come out of it. It means training yourself to look for the lessons in difficulty rather than just seeing the pain. It means recognizing that your thoughts have power and that power can work for you or against you. If you truly want a positive life, you must start with a positive mind. You cannot keep feeding yourself negative thoughts and expect a joyful, successful, fulfilling life to grow from them. Choose your thoughts wisely. Pay attention to what you allow to take root in your mind. Every day, make the choice to think in a way that builds you up rather than tears you down. Because at the end of the day, your thoughts are either working for you or against you. And if you want to see change in your life, the first place to start is in your mind. Renewing your mind daily is one of the most important things you can do if you want to live a life of peace, joy, and success. Your mind is constantly processing information, absorbing thoughts, and forming beliefs. If you are not intentional about what you allow into your mind, it will naturally default to fear, doubt, worry, and negativity. That's why renewing your mind is not something you do once and forget about. It has to be a daily habit, a conscious effort to replace the wrong thoughts with the right ones. Think about it this way. You don't eat one meal and expect to be nourished for the rest of your life. You don't take one shower and assume you'll never need to clean yourself again. In the same way, you can't feed your mind once with truth, wisdom, and encouragement and expect it to stay that way permanently. Life happens every day. Challenges come, negative thoughts try to creep in, and if you're not renewing your mind, you will find yourself drained, discouraged, and overwhelmed. The world around you is constantly feeding your mind with information, and a lot of it is negative. You turn on the news and you hear about everything that's going wrong. You scroll through social media and you compare your life to someone else's highlight reel. You go through your day and you hear complaints, gossip, and opinions that don't align with the life you want to live. If you don't take control of what you allow into your mind, it will be filled with whatever the world throws at you. And most of the time, what the world gives you isn't peace, joy, or confidence. It's stress, anxiety, and insecurity. Renewing your mind daily means making a choice every single day to fill your mind with the right things. It means taking time to focus on truth rather than lies, on hope rather than despair, on gratitude rather than complaints. It's about being intentional with your thoughts instead of letting them run wild. You have to actively guard your mind because whatever you allow to stay in your thoughts will eventually shape your emotions, your actions, and your life. One of the most effective ways to renew your mind is to start your day with the right focus. The first thing you think about in the morning sets the tone for the rest of your day. If you wake up and immediately start worrying about all the things you have to do or all the things that could go wrong, you are already setting yourself up for stress and frustration. But if you start your day with gratitude, with positive affirmations, with reminders of what is good in your life, you will approach the day with a completely different mindset. Another powerful way to renew your mind is to be mindful of what you expose yourself to. The people you listen to, the conversations you engage in, the media you consume, all of these things have an impact on your thoughts. If you spend time around negative people who are always complaining, it will be hard for you to stay positive. If you constantly listen to messages of fear and discouragement, it will be hard for you to walk in confidence. But if you choose to surround yourself with positivity, encouragement, wisdom, you will find it easier to keep your mind in a good place. Renewing your mind also means being intentional about the way you talk to yourself. Too often, people are their own worst critics. They replay past mistakes, beat themselves up over failures, and allow their inner dialogue to be filled with self-doubt. But if you wouldn't say something to a friend, why say it to yourself? Speak to yourself with kindness. Remind yourself of your strengths. Choose words that build you up rather than tear you down. The way you speak to yourself matters because your mind believes what you tell it over time. This process of renewing your mind is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It takes discipline to stop a negative thought and replace it with a positive one. It takes awareness to recognize when your mindset is drifting into fear or worry. But the more you practice, the stronger your mind becomes. Just like a muscle, your mind can be trained. The more you train yourself to think in a way that aligns with peace, faith, and confidence, the more naturally it will come to you. There will be days when it feels harder than others. There will be moments when old thought patterns try to creep back in. But that's why renewing your mind is a daily process. You don't have to be perfect at it. You just have to be consistent. You may not always catch every negative thought, but the more you practice, the more aware you become. And the more aware you become, the easier it is to shift your focus. At the end of the day, your mind is either working for you or against you. You have the power to choose which thoughts stay and which thoughts go. You have the ability to filter what you allow into your mind and what you reject. And when you make the decision to renew your mind daily, you are setting yourself up for a life of peace, joy, and victory. So don't let the world dictate your mindset. Don't let negativity take root in your thoughts. Take control of your mind, fill it with truth, and renew it every single day. Because when you do, you will begin to see your life change from the inside out. Your thoughts determine your future. This is a truth that cannot be ignored. The way you think today is shaping the life you will live tomorrow. Every action you take, every decision you make, every habit you develop, all of it begins with a thought. If your mind is filled with fear, doubt, and negativity, your future will reflect those things. But if your mind is filled with faith, confidence, and hope, your future will align with those thoughts instead. Most people don't realize the power of their thoughts. They assume that their circumstances are what shape their future, that external factors like their job, their family, or their past experiences determine where they will end up. But the truth is, your circumstances are only a small part of the equation. What really determines your future is how you think about your circumstances and how you respond to them. Two people can go through the exact same struggle. One person can let it defeat them, while the other can use it as fuel to grow stronger. The difference is not in what happened to them. The difference is in how they think. You cannot expect to live a victorious life if your mind is full of defeated thoughts. You cannot expect to build a successful future if your thoughts are always focused on failure. But you focus on expands. If you dwell on problems, you will feel overwhelmed by them. If you constantly think about what's wrong, you will struggle to see what's right. But if you choose to focus on solutions, if you train your mind to see opportunities instead of obstacles, your life will begin to move in a different direction. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that their thoughts don't matter. They think it's just a thought. It doesn't really affect them. That is far from the truth. Every great achievement, every major breakthrough, every transformation that has ever taken place in someone's life started with a thought. The people who have accomplished great things in this world first had to believe that they could. If they had allowed self-doubt to dominate their thinking, they would have never taken the steps necessary to turn their dreams into reality. The same is true for you. If you want to change your future, you must first change your thoughts. You have to start believing that you are capable of more. You have to reject the lies that tell you that you'll never succeed, that you're not good enough, or that things will never change. Those thoughts are not the truth. They are barriers trying to keep you from reaching your full potential. But the good news is you don't have to accept them. You have the power to choose what you believe. You have the ability to train your mind to think in a way that supports your goals rather than works against them. One of the most powerful ways to shape your future is through the words you speak. Your words have the ability to reinforce the thoughts you allow in your mind. If you constantly say things like, I can't do this, I'll never be successful, or things never work out for me, you are strengthening negative beliefs. But if you begin to speak words of confidence and hope even before you feel them, you will start to reprogram your mind. Words like, I am capable, I am strong, I am moving forward, will begin to shift your thinking, and that shift will start to show up in your actions. This doesn't mean that challenges won't come. Life will always have obstacles, setbacks, and disappointments. But how you think about those challenges will determine whether they stop you or push you forward. If you see obstacles as the end of the road, you will give up when things get tough. But if you see them as opportunities to grow and learn, you will keep going even in the face of difficulty. Your thoughts determine how you handle failure. Some people fail and never try again because they tell themselves that failure means they aren't good enough. But others fail and get back up stronger because they tell themselves that failure is just a lesson on the way to success. The difference is not in the failure itself. The difference is in the mindset. If you want a better future, you must train your mind to expect good things. That doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It means choosing to believe that no matter what happens, you have the strength, the wisdom, and the ability to keep moving forward. It means deciding that your past does not define you, your mistakes do not limit you, and your current circumstances do not determine your destiny. So start paying attention to your thoughts. Are they leading you toward the future you want, or are they keeping you stuck in the past? Are they filled with possibility, or are they full of limitation? Are they inspiring you to take action, or are they convincing you to settle for less than what you deserve? Your thoughts are like seeds. Whatever you plant in your mind will grow and produce fruit in your life. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, that is what you will harvest. But if you plant seeds of confidence, faith, and determination, you will reap a future filled with growth, success, and fulfillment. You have the power to shape your future, but it starts in your mind. It starts with the thoughts you choose to hold on to and the beliefs you decide to embrace. Don't let negative thinking rob you of the life you are meant to live. Train your mind to expect the best, to look for the good, and to believe in possibilities. Because when you change your thoughts, you change your future.